Hey everyone, it's me, the Lucky Theory Reviewer, and I'm sorry that this has taken so long. I'll go into details at the end of the video, but to say the least that I've had PC troubles that caused this to take a while would be an understatement. But here we are, Ren and Rani, the two sort of side characters depending on which one you choose to save. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's talk about these two. And we should probably go over the fact that Ren, the Ren here in this image, is not the same Ren as Ren Tohsaka from Fate Stay Night. If you have the two in the same room, Ren Exford would basically be the equivalent of Ren Stay Night's niece. Long story short, Tokiomi apparently cheated on his wife, and that produced a branch sort of family that resulted in Ren here. So yeah, this Ren is not the same as Stay Night Ren. We are going ahead and kill that nip in the bud. And also, she does not have black hair like what in this image does. She's actually blonde. She's just apparently had her hair go black as a disguise. Even though I don't see how that would work as a disguise, but regardless, let's talk about their roles in Extra, CC, and Sarah. So, in Extra, Rin and Ronnie both help Hawkno individually throughout the first 3 rounds. Rin helps with get Lynn's hand doing the Shinji stuff. Ronnie helps with Dan, and then they both end up contributing a little bit when it comes to dealing with Alice and Nursery Rhyme. And this results in the interlude of the fourth round, between the third and fourth round, where you're ultimately forced to choose which one to save, and in doing so, you create the branching paths. If you choose to save Rani, you end up fighting Ark and Gato, as I discussed in the previous video, and then you end up fighting Ren during the 6th round, and vice versa. You save Ren, you fight little Ronnie and Vlad during the 4th round, and you fight Ronnie and Lubu during the 6th round. And pretty much from there, whoever you save will end up helping Hakuno after a few days, and kinda in turn are probably what helped made Hakuno, the victor. In a sense. Like, help Hakuno win the Grail War. Because it really just... Like, without them, I'm pretty sure Hakuno would have died to Julius. Like, Hakuno... It really does come to show how valuable of an asset these two become throughout the 5th, and 6th rounds, because due to Hakuno not really being a mage, while these two are, an alchemist and a mage, and a spiritron hacker. Well, basically from a mage family, so they pretty much help Hakuno, and after Hakuno goes into the core, and finds out, they have a living self, they basically send data to Ren or Ryan depending on who you save, and the game pretty much leads off with them going off to go find Hakuno and awaken him. And that's pretty much Extra. Like, as much as I could talk about the 6th round fights, it's kinda the same. Basically, they themselves don't want to fight you, and instead have a sort of pseudo-servant program to fight you, and you pretty much, over the time, figure out it's, them. Since it's only 4 people left, and Leo makes it clear he's not the one who does that stuff. So, and yeah. And unfortunately, when it comes to their servants, well, one's Kukulane and one's Lubu. I guess I can talk about Lubu, but it's Berserker Lubu. There isn't really much to talk about him, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's pretty much them for Extra. CC, they both end up being brainwashed and working under BB until Hakuno frees them both, and they end up joining the student council. And they pretty much end up being around till the very end, where Hakuno confronts BB, and depending on the ending, I think pretty much normal ending where everyone ends up back on the near side, and they pretty much go back to the war as if nothing has happened, since they don't technically remember. So yeah, and finally you have Last Encore, where they probably have the most, unfortunately, the most screenshot time they've ever had, and it's in there. So, bit of spoilers for that. They effectively fought each other during the 6th round instead of the interlude for the 3rd round, and this results in them basically being stuck in a stalemate since they neither one really gets saved by Hakuno, since I think the implication there is Hakuno fought Leo that round, since it's only 4 people left. Leo's one of them, and they both fought the other 2. So I think that's the implication there. Is that in that timeline they basically fought each other, they got in a stalemate, and it results in them basically calling a truce, and then basically working together to find someone and help them reach the 6th stratum, so one of them can be freed. They basically decide that, at this point, all they can do is hope for someone to come save them. At least one of them. And this in turn leads to them encountering Deadface Hakuno throughout Stratums, Ren once again helping with helping Hakuno with Dan and not Dan, my bad. Shinji and Alice's Stratums, with her actually apparently flying Fenrir as a demi-servant, which I guess that's another thing I should bring up. All their sort of clones have the powers of a demi-servant, since basically Lubu and Ku got destroyed in the stalemate, and that results in them being cloned and replicated and basically fighting for like a very long time. And back to what I was saying, sorry, off track. Rani helps with Dan, and then assists, and they both assist during the 5th stratum. And then of course we got the 6th one, where of course Hakuno tries to save both, and only results in saving Ren, and Ronnie sadly dies as well. So yeah, Ronnie sadly gets the short in this sense when it comes to a lot of stuff, Fate extra stuff. It's usually Ren who gets basically the canon treatment. Though I guess it could be worse. It could be Extella Link where Hakuno had to fight both of them and apparently won against both of them. So there is also that. But yeah, like I said, they've pretty much have been they're basically I would argue the second set of like out of all the possible human romances options ships people do with Hakuno, they're probably the most popular of the two. Which sadly isn't saying much because you have Sakura, BB, and Tamamo, Nero, Nuts, and Gilg, and it's kind of like they they pretty much get overlooked a lot, and it's unfortunate because I actually like both of them. But it just comes down to people like the ships with Nero and Tamamo and the servants, and BB and Sakura more. So they kind of get left aside and forgotten, unfortunately. But we have, Last Encore is supposed to be coming out eventually. We still don't have a date for that as of this recording. We did get some new trailers and some new screenshots, so that's something. Granted, this was basically after a year of us not getting anything, but there's something in that. But yeah, sorry if this was a little bit disjointed. There's kinda you would they have such a high important role, and yet there's so little to actually say about them too. So 2 of them. Mostly because if you talk about one of them, you're kinda also talking about the other one as well. So yeah. I'm really hoping Last Encore Record does something with them. because it is kind of a shame how they kind of have like the last major role they've had was before late last encore was CCC, which was pretty much like a game that was an interlude was a in, was a like side thing to the actual extra route. So fingers crossed on that. And yeah, and this is pretty much where I'm going to skim over to a quick little updates, lots of explanation as to why this video took so long. My hard drive died earlier this year, and it pretty much took me till May to actually finally figure out it was the hard drive. Originally, we didn't even know what it was. But and it took us a while to actually take it up to get it looked at. We thought it was fine, and then not too long after I got it back and started doing the thing again, we had to go back, take it back, get checked again, and it turns out it was the hard drive. So what images I did have for this video, I kind of lost along with like everything else. So that kind of put off me doing this video, and this is pretty much just me finally deciding to get this over with so I can move on, not have to worry about this as much. But yeah, next time we're going to be talking about Leo, and then all we have left after that would be Twice. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Apologies for this being off the cuff and whatnot, but I just wanted to get this, out of the way so I'm not constantly thinking about it. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.